wake us up from our sleep to fight for our humanity till everyone is free. Guided by our biggest light, love is part of how we fight. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. You wake us up from our sleep to fight for our humanity till everyone is free. Guided by our biggest light, love is part of how we fight. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. You wake us up from our sleep to fight for our community till everyone is free. Guided by our biggest light, love is part of how we fight. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. You wake us up from our sleep to fight for solidarity till everyone is free. Guided by our biggest light, love is part of how we fight. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength, strength, strength. And I pray, pray, pray for our strength. A powerful tune from the powerful vocalist and musician and songwriter and ritualist Molly Bajgot. Thank you for that song, Molly. Pretty sure I was there when it was first shared. She wrote it for, my understanding, she wrote it for originally a creative Shabbat service at Let My People Sing. And this song, Gevurah, Strength, was written for the Amidah, the central prayer that has a section titled Gevurah that has this line, Mechaye Metim, blessed is the one who brings to life the dead, who revivifies the dead. And Molly has a beautiful, this is my weekly reminder to ask myself if I'm dreaming. Am I dreaming? Courtesy of Amy Ringel. It's a lucid dreaming practice. If you ask yourself randomly if you're dreaming, then you might do that while you're dreaming, and then you could start lucid dreaming. I've only done it once, but it does work. Mechaye Metim, speaking of dreaming, bringing the dead back to life is one of the things we say regularly in our Hebrew liturgy. I didn't say it growing up in the Reformed Church. The Reformed Church. Whew. That is a funny Freudian slip. In Reformed Judaism, which was in many ways trying to assimilate into the mainstream church culture, if you will, Reformed Judaism took that out and replaced it with something I can't remember because it's been so many years since I've said it. I love saying Mechaye Metim. There are so many meanings to it, including like the parts of me that are dead, or when I'm feeling not fully alive, and when I am able to turn to the divine in prayer and find life again. That's one way. Molly Bajgot has a beautiful drash or teaching about this song that she invokes when, pretty sure, very first time I heard it, which might have been the first time she shared it back in 2018, 2019. And I think she writes about in the album that this is on. Go check it out, Revelry. I'll make sure I link to it. Whole album, front to back, so good. Is lifting up the names of those who have been killed by state violence, um, by systemic violence, and that our prayers be in service of, well, that their memories be a blessing, that their memories be for revolution. And that part of the way we mechaye metim, part of the way we bless the one who revivifies the dead is to remember the dead and to lift up their memories, that their deaths not be in vain. And I love that interpretation of this part of the Amidah. And this song I've sung in groups. You can teach it. It's a little bit of a teach, but it's powerful when the group gets it. And you might have noticed there's 3 verses. You wake us up from our sleep to fight for our community, to fight for our humanity, to fight for solidarity. And I'm thinking of it now because moving through the narrowness of this portal of Passover requires strength. And I'm praying for my own strength and for the strength of all of you and all of us in this time. I know that Passover has the potential to be a very beautiful affirmation of our Jewish values of collective liberation, and also many of us are struggling to reconcile really any Jewish practice amidst the horrors of the ongoing violence of the state of Israel, backed by the United States and the United States military. All of it supposedly sort of lifted up and justified by a Judaism that I reject, that I call blasphemous, heretical, and particularly when Passover, a holiday that is explicitly about rejecting pharaohs and empire and fascists and authoritarians and power over and oppression, and invites us to think about a force more powerful and a nonviolent defection from corporatism and capitalism. It's particularly painful to see and feel the ways in which some parts of the Jewish world continue to lift up the story to justify militarism and violence and cozying up to empire, the U.S. empire. And I think well, anyway, I'm rambling. I hope you enjoy the song. Maybe sing it at your seders. Take it to the streets. Go listen to Molly's version. and safe passage through the channel, through the narrow passage. May we get there together.